this down. When I close the vise, I want to actually keep pushing this block down so I make sure it sits on my parallel plate. Let's see. What does that mean, Rodrigo? So when I get this block, what I have to do to secure it is I'm gonna have to put it there. I have to put some sort of like a soft material. On the side here, open. Side. The side, not the bottom. But see how like now my parallel plate is actually pretty, it's not tight under there. So what I want to do is I want to be pushing this down. So now my parallel plate's not going anywhere. And then now I crank. So now this guy's not going anywhere. And my parallel plate has almost no gap in there. We're always going to lose some, but that's fine. When you face the other way, we're going to face it accordingly. Right? It's going to be square. But we want to actually push as much as we can. Why is it being pushed up? Because of this guy. Even if I try to, it's going to always try kind of like to push it up a little bit. All right, so that's what it did. Pretty squeezed. Good stuff. So now we already said about we need the right speed. Let me get my camera here. I said we need the right speed. We need the right tool to cut. We need to secure the tool correctly. We need the stock. We need to position in the vise. We need the parallel plates. We need the soft. So if not squared, then need soft material on the side. Good. And then push, block down when tightening the vise. So we need to push the block down when we're tightening the vise. All right, so now our block is secured. So our stock is secured. Now we can start to work. Good. All right, let's go there. So just now we start to work. All right. We're not going to use this anymore. It's already tight. You go to the holder there. Okay. The way that the vertical wheel works is I raise and lower my stock and move the stock around instead of actually instead of moving my cutter, right? So we want to go up. Can you see that? It's getting closer. And the DRO is actually recording that I'm going up. Oops. One more thing. The bed of the machine is not a table. So even though I was using it to actually show you guys, I shouldn't be leaving stuff on the bed, right? Some people are gonna put like a hammers and other things here. This guy, the bed here is supposed to be flat. If you start having dings, start like removing material from it, then now there's a chance that my vise is not gonna sit like a well on my bed. And then we have to replace the whole bed, which is not a very good thing to do. So we don't use the bed. So this all before even turning on the equipment, right? See, I had the locks from the beginning of the class when I was explaining locks. So now I'm moving on my y-axis, x-axis, sorry. There's a little bit more for me to go. All right. So that's where we are. That's our piece right there. So now we're in high. Okay, I was able to show high. Speak to this side. If I turn on, I know that I'm not going to hit anything. This guy is secured. I already got it tight. That guy is secured. I already got it tight. The machine turns on by just hitting forward. If I want to stop, and then I can stop by, or I can just wait. I don't reach or touch before it's done, right before I stop. And if we're cutting like something like steel, there's a chance that all this is going to be hot. So we want to be careful about it, right? So let's see. We have the flywheel on. See, I'm still kind of far, right? So I'm going to go up some more. And then I can try again, see? Now I start removing material. I don't know if you can see. The speed, meaning how fast I'm moving my lever here. You have to feel it like it's difficult to tell, oh, this is so many feet per minute or whatever. So you would know how fast you want to move. If you do it at a certain speed and your tool breaks, it means maybe it was too fast. See, I took a faster. I still need to cut some on this side, so I'm going to move my cutting to this side. All right. So technically, I can tell that this is actually where I am in C, right? Let's say I want to take another pass. I zeroed it. See, I hit it's equals to 0. Now I can lower a little bit, or I can raise my stock a little bit. So I'm going to go up. So that is 10,000, 20,000, let's say 25,000. Can I do 25,000? I don't know. Let's try. Let's see. Yeah, 25,000 is good. So, but there's not enough. See, if there's this side here that's not touched. So we want to actually keep doing it until we're able to finish that whole side. All right. And then we keep moving until we actually reach whatever is the, and if we're taking like right now, I'm just facing the top with the facing tool. If my idea is that I wanna, let's say, get this to a specific thickness, I would have to actually take a pass, get the caliper, measure, and then get the caliper measure, see if you are at the specifications that you want. Otherwise, if the dimensions are not correct yet, you run it again, you move a little bit more, and then you keep doing it until you reach your dimension within your tolerance. Good. So this is for facing the top. I could face using the end mill. The end mill is actually, I was able to face with it. But then I wouldn't have the facing tool. I would have a collet and our end mill there. All right. The other option is to, so now let's try to think about it. Let's rewind a little bit. I said about measuring the thickness and matching that to a specification, right? All right. So let's talk about it. So let me go back to my IP Evo. All right. So this is what I have, right? I have my block. I have my vise. I have my parallel plates. That goes on all the way to the bottom of my vise. And then my cutter, my flywheel is here. With my carbide tools here. All right. So I lower it and I took a pass. Let's say that I want this guy to be 2 inches. Right? But 2 inches is not 2 inches. 2 inches is, let's say, 2.0 plus or minus 0.1, right? So I can actually go between that and this. And anywhere in between, I'm fine, right? So I take a pass up there. And then now this is my new 0 in Z, because this is Z, right? And then I take a measure here with my caliper, right? So my caliper, imagine I measure 2.156. 2.156 is actually above my range there. All right. So now I have to bring it down so it's within 2.1 and 1.9. So I took a pass, I zeroed. Now I measure, I get this. My goal now is actually to remove at least 56 thousandths. Why? Because if I remove 56 thousandths, I get to 2.1 and I'm fine. All right, but let's say we want to take instead 75 thousandths. Why? Because I want to be within. I might not want to be right on the edge. Right. Let's say that I decided that. So if I take a pass, I measure, I zero. Let's say that I can take to only 25 thousandths per pass. So now I can go up at this. So I'm going to be 0, Z. That was at 0. Now we're going to go to 25 thousandths. So now when I take my pass, I'm going to eat a little bit there. All right, I'm going to remove that 25 thousandths there. And then what? Do I just say, oh, now I have 2.1. No, I have to go and measure again. I zero it again. I move to the side. I measure. Oh, now I am at 2.133. Why was not 1.131? There's many reasons, but we're not going to talk about that. Like it means this is where we are. That's the actual. So now based on the actual and the target, now we have to actually more to go. And then we take another 25,000. See, it's actually step by step. Do this step, do this step, do this step. Take 25,000, measure. Decide how much more. Take another pass, measure. Take another pass, measure until you get the, like to whatever you want, right? And I can use the DRO to actually measure the two sides because what I'm measuring with is actually with my caliper, right? So I measure my caliper and taking more material. This is all assuming that this side here is already squared. Otherwise, you're going to have to square one side, flip it around, and then start squaring the other side and actually then bringing down the dimension to like whatever you want. All right. What's the other option? All right. The other option is like a, let me get some more here. The other option is if I have an end mill. So now I'm gonna see my drawing skills. So you're gonna have your parallel plates there. Your block is gonna be here in top. But let's say I'm actually sticking out a little bit. That's my block there. So this is my vise, and I'm sticking out with my block. So now let me look it from the top, right? Vise, vise, block. Let's say that I want actually to narrow this down to a dimension. This is my end mill, right? Because I'm side milling right now. I can actually, let's say that I can actually side mill this side. So this is Y and this is X, right? I side mill this side, and then I can get Y equals to 0. And then I can actually move around. So let's say I side mill this side. I don't hit my vise. Make sure. Y equals to 0, and then I can come around and cut on that side. But the one thing is like if I zeroed on this side of my end mill, when I go around, that side is here. So for me to zero on this side and take account on this side, I'm gonna have to, let's say I want to move this 1 inch. Let's say that this guy is actually 1/2 inch. That's the diameter of my end mill. I zeroed here where I have to move it to. So I make sure that I cut at 1 inch. If I move this guy 1 inch. That way, I'll be here. But that's not what I want. That means that this is 1 inch. I want to move it 1.5 inches. So this is up here, and I'm cutting on this back side. We have to be attentive for that. So when possible, we can use the DRO to do the whole measurement. We can sure like a double check with the caliper, but we are using the DRO for the measurement. Right? The same as if I touch here, and then let's say that I want to make a groove somewhere in the middle there. I can touch, and then I have to think, what side of my end mill did I use to touch? Does it matter? How much do I have to move? You know, this thing is actually important for you to understand. All right. Or what you could do is you touch here, you square it there, you 0, and then you are not measuring with the DRO. You are just measuring the caliper. It gives you so much. You need, oh, I need to move some more in. You move some more in, take another pass, measure with the caliper. All right, not good. All right, 0, you zeroed, measure, you move, measure the caliper, take another pass. Then you're just measuring the caliper. But like, there's a way for you to measure with the DRO, and that's how actually, I don't know, that's how you guys have been doing it. But I just wanted to point that out. All right. Let's see. Device. So these are other holders. You know, the dividing head you can actually use to actually rotate your piece in intervals that actually you were that's actually very specific angles, you know. Straps. Right now we're using a vise to hold things down. But like you are using straps to hold the vise into the bed. Rotary table, also again, another way of actually securing something and actually moving at an angle. Cutters, we already talked about cutters and mill. Cutter holding, yeah, this is what I said. The collet is used for end mill. The chuck is used for the drill bit. All right, so this is an overall of about the vertical mill. And you guys are going to watch and see if that actually helps your overall understanding about the vertical mill. All right. Thank you very much and see you in class.